Last Monday, I got the chance to ride Orion, Kings Island's long-awaited B&M giga coaster. I could have ridden the roller coaster on Thursday when I went to the park on opening day for season pass holders, but the line was consistently about 4 hours throughout the day, and I knew I would be coming back a lot throughout the year, so I waited until next time. Fortunately, I was able to go to the park just a few days later, and the line was a lot quicker. The line was quicker mostly because the park created a new system to ride Orion. Instead of just going up to the ride and riding it, you had to get tickets in the beginning of the day that had a time slot of when you could ride it. This prevents people from riding it too many times, and it also prevents too many people from getting in line all at the same time. With the ticket system, I only had to wait about 10 minutes to ride this ride. The short wait time was especially useful on the day that I went because I had to leave at 3:30 to get to gymnastics practice. Now that we're done talking about the line, let's talk about the experience. In the queue, there is an exceptional amount of theming, especially for Kings Island. The theme is about a space mission called Orion, and in the queue line, there is quite a few tributes to Firehawk and other defunct rides that used to be at the park. Kings Island outdid themselves with Area 72 and the theming for Orion. Once you are finished with the queue, you will board the train. I had one ride in Orion, and I sat in the front row in the middle. After I rode the ride, I felt like the front row on the far left seat would have been the best seat, but I will get to that later in the video. The restraints and trains on this ride are the typical B&M Hyper trains with the clamshell restraints. I have no complaints here because these restraints are very comfortable. After the restraints are locked in place and the ride operators dispatch the train, the ride will begin. When you first start ascending the 287-foot lift hill, you can barely see the top, and it looks pretty freaky. At this point in the ride, I was actually kind of scared because the only roller coaster that I've ridden that is taller than this one was King at Six Flags Great Adventure. And on that ride, I didn't even have time to think about how tall it was. Once you near the top of the lift hill, the lift motors slow down a lot, and this is so that the drop will feel slightly longer, and I think that it worked. As you slowly crest the hill, the chain lift cuts out and you begin to plummet down the 300-foot, 85-degree drop. And I'm telling you, it feels like it's going straight down. Even though I sat in the front seat, I was still floating the whole way down the drop. After the epic first drop, you go into a 174-foot wave turn. This element doesn't really give any sideways airtime, but it is just a weird feeling. And this is the part of the ride where I thought it would be good to sit on the far left seat because you would be able to see better. After the wave turn, you go into a turnaround. This element doesn't have any airtime, but you can feel the speed throughout the turnaround, and it is pretty fun. This is when you make a slight left-hand turn and go into a speed hill. Sitting in the front, this only gave okay floater airtime, but I'm sure is better in the back. After the speed hill, the train zooms into a giant camelback hill. This hill gives some Diamondback level floater airtime, and it is a really fun element, but the trims kill the momentum a bit. After this camelback, you make a turn into a truly awesome helix. In this helix, you really get pressed into your seat, and you can feel that speed. With the wind in your face, this element is way better in person than on the POV. Next, you make a left-hand turn and go into an airtime hill. This hill gives some awesome airtime and is one of my favorite parts of the ride. Once you finish that hill, you go into another awesome airtime moment, which brings you into the final brake run. Overall, Orion at Kings Island is an awesome ride, my favorite at the park. It does not deserve all the hate that it gets. It is a great fit for the park and definitely not too similar to Diamondback. Also, the length is perfectly fine, and the overall experience is unbeatable. When you go to Kings Island, this is not a ride that you can pass up. That concludes my review of Orion, the new giga coaster at Kings Island. I hope you all enjoyed the video and have a great day.